T-Foss.
Yeah, but a lot of times when you reach a certain plateau, you have to learn how to win. You're there for the first time. You're like, ooh, wow, what's going to happen? I think Michigan and Georgia are in that position.
See, but Georgia's been there and played for the you know what I'm saying? Not these guys in particular,
right?
But they have been there before. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. And what do I always say, T-Foss? I'm always like, well, Georgia's going to Georgia. That's just the way Georgia is, and we laugh about it. But at the same time, they've been there a few times on a few occasions. They've won a game in the playoff. You know what I'm saying? That's part of it to me.
But I am saying Michigan has finally reached that stage. And sometimes when you reach the stage for the very first time, it's different. You're there. Yes, you're talking about we're on a business trip, we're here to win and everything. But the bottom line is you're trying to learn as a program. You're trying to get better as a program and be able to win these games in your sleep. The first time you get there, I don't think that's the case. It's like, oh, look where we are. Oh, damn. So what you want to do, I think the most important thing is to be competitive. I think that's more important than anything right now. Of course, you want to win the game, but if they're competitive and Georgia is scared and for their lives and not knowing if they're going to win this game in the last 2 minutes, I think that's good for Michigan.
Yeah, and I didn't know why I was taking some heat there because I don't think T-Foss, did I say anything controversial? I don't think it was crapping on Michigan or anything like that. It's just for me,
it wasn't controversial, but you basically saying y'all better win or else I'm not validating
No. Don't do that, T-Foss. And you guys in the little YouTube chat thread, don't do that. I'm saying no matter what happens, you won the Big Ten, you beat Michigan, or you beat Ohio State. You won the Big Ten, all right? That is what it is. No one's taking that one away from you. I'm saying to be in that discussion, to be valued the way that Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia is right now, when you have these opportunities, you have to capitalize on them. I can't relate to the faction of fans that think the job's finished and, hey, whatever happens, happens, T-Foss. Isn't this fun?
I'm one of them. I'm one of those people. I think now
I think
the cake is made, and if you beat Georgia, that's the icing. But see, Neil, you put them in a tough spot. Now, let's say they beat Georgia. Do they have to beat Alabama now?
No, because you've been there and you've won and you beat the big bad SEC. You beat the SEC team with the best defense of all time that everybody's been saying. No, now for me you're at house money when you play Alabama.
Okay,
yeah.
What if you play Alabama and you lose 45-10?
It's Alabama, man.
You're going to be, Michigan, you didn't think you thought you were good, huh? Well, then you played a real team and you saw what happened. That's exactly what you're going to say.
No. They got the best quarterback.
Yes,
they have the best quarterback in the nation. They have probably one of the only good quarterbacks in college football. Ask Lions fans, you want any quarterbacks from this draft? You know what the answer is. Nope. Ask Lions fans next year. If you can get the number one pick and you can get Bryce Young, do you want him? What would their answer be?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Their answer would be hell yeah, because it's a quarterback game.
All right, Michigan has to beat Georgia now.
They don't.
Yes, they do, because here's why. It's going to put you to the test.
No, T-Foss,
they'll play Alabama.
No.
And if they get their asses kicked to Alabama, like everybody does, you're going to be jumping up and down. Ooh, you thought you were good, huh, Michigan? Now you played a real team. And
No. See, T-Foss, and I know everybody in the YouTube chat thread right now, they're like, oh, you got Neil in the corner now. What's Neil going to do?
Neil knows I'm telling the truth, but he can't admit that.
I know we're late for the break, but let me get this, and we'll cut out to that break. Look, I know what you're thinking right now, that you got me in the corner and all that stuff. Which T-Foss, you are in the corner. You can lose. you can lose to Georgia this season. You won the Big Ten. You beat Ohio State. For me, though, you are going to have to get back there sooner rather than later, because you have to show that it wasn't just a flash in the pan or a down year for Ohio State. That's how this stuff works. There's levels to it, T-Foss.
I understand. I'm just telling you how you're going to act.
Pistons. No, I'm not going to act that way.
Yes, you are. You're going to be a bad little kid.
No, I'm not, T-Foss. You know that. T-Foss, you know that. See, like everyone, hell yes to Bryce Young. Yeah, and then that's where everybody is. But you know what? Thinking about a career change, everybody? How about you go with the business that is always essential? That's right. We're talking about Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works. We're always hot. We're always cold. Wherever you are in the world, It's either a hot climate, a cold climate, whatever it is. Think it makes good business sense. If you're wondering what you're going to do with your career, give the folks at Northwestern Tech a ring. Stop by to northwesterntech.edu. It could be for you guys. It is. I'll tell you this. I know this. When my furnace is out, I would literally pay any price for it to be fixed. ... You can fill in the rest. The HVAC school that works for you. Go to northwesterntech.edu.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Season for us, we're talking sports 365. Detroit Sports Network. Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Final show of 2021. My name is Neil Rule. He's T-Foss, Uncle Terry in the building. Story time with T-Foss coming up in, about 23 minutes. But who's counting? He said it's a good one, folks. It's about an 8.5. And that's not like our 8.5 with our stories. That's a Terry Foster 8.5. That's a bit different, folks.
This could be a 10 in your book.
A 12. We got Sam in the sound booth. We got Sawyer hustling, grinding over there in the production booth, bringing us back from the dead. Adam Baydoun's sweater getting a lot of the blame for the internet going out. So we'll see. We'll try to confirm that, deny that, propagate those rumors, and see. Sawyer getting a lot of love on the YouTube chat thread. MSU Detroit fan, maybe it was a Mayo sabotage, Duke Mayo. The Duke's Mayo Bowl not going well for North Carolina right now. They're down 18-0 at the end of the first quarter. Rack, who to me, in my experience with them, has been a pretty logical Michigan fan. I'm content with this year, which I agree. However, I'm looking to next year. Is this the new norm, or was this a fluke? Terry, that's fair, right? And again, we don't know what the result of the game is or anything like that. But say Michigan doesn't win, and that's he's saying what I'm saying. But because he's a Michigan fan, it's fair. But when I say it, it's not. Like,
that's true. You have to understand how things work around here. If you're viewed as an outsider, you will always be viewed as an outsider. You can say the most innocent things, but if it doesn't jive with the narrative, then you're a bad guy.
Yeah, Matt Carrier said, well, that isn't what was being said, Rule. You made it to where if they don't win, then the whooping they gave Ohio State was because Ohio State had a bad year. No, Matt, I didn't say that. I said you can instantly validate all that if you beat Georgia, in my opinion. If you don't beat Georgia and it's 7 more years before Michigan wins the Big Ten or goes to the college football playoff, then as you go back and look at it, the people will say, especially if it's Ohio State that gets back to form and keeps it running, what will be the narrative, T-Foss?
All right, here's what I want you to explain to me.
Sure.
If Michigan loses to Georgia, we don't know what's going to happen for the next 7 years.
No, we don't.
But what is your immediate view of Michigan losing to Georgia?
My immediate view to Michigan losing to Georgia would be it was a good season. No one expected it, much the same way I view Michigan State's season. No one expected it. They popped up. They slayed the beast in Ohio State. It was like Rocky versus Drago when Rocky landed that punch and Drago bled. Like, they're not a machine. They're men over there at Ohio State. And that's what it would be. And then we would hard stop, and then guess what? We press on. Because when next season comes around, what do we always say? What does DMAC say? What does Joik Bell say? That momentum into seasons and stuff like that? No bearing on any of that.
I say that too. That's the most ridiculous thing in sports. If you win this last game, momentum's going to carry over to the next season. That's baloney.
Yeah, and you have to find out. You have to find out the answers to the hard questions next year about McNamara, J.J. McCarthy, that whole situation. How does it play out? Because you got to remember, we're in the modern era of college football now. ...
Right.
Things are different now. But I will say this: Donovan Edwards, I think, is going to be a star. I mean, a star. Like Heisman candidacy star. Now, will it work out to be, is this kind of the new Michigan way, like everybody else is doing with the system of running backs and those types of things? I don't know, but I do know Donovan Edwards is going to be a star. So
yes, I saw the young man play in high school several times, and you could tell the talent is there.
Right, and that's where I am with that. So, for me, it's, and Rack says both things can be true, and that's where I am with it. And again, like I'm a MSU Detroit fan, the SEC's 0-4 in bowl games, which they are. But as T. Foss and I were talking about earlier, if you go back through the SEC lineage in the last 10 or 15 years, there's been 3 different schools that have won a national title, and 4 have played for a national title. So that's where that narrative gets built.
Who cares? When we look at the SEC, we always look at the top 3 or 4 teams. We know Vanderbilt stinks. We know Kentucky is mediocre. We know Tennessee is mediocre. We know Auburn is all right. We look at LSU, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah. And by the way,
discussion.
Auburn popped up and won one of those national titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we still don't view Auburn as all that in a bag of chips anymore.
No, not anymore. And that was 7 years ago that they won it with Cam Newton. So things move quickly. There is no doubt about it. But talking Michigan, Georgia, and I know it kind of devolved into this whole, because for me that is what's on the line for Michigan here. And we can talk about the matchups and stuff like that. And it's pretty apparent. What will Michigan be able to do offensively against Georgia? They run the football. Georgia stops the run. Can McNamara get on one and beat Georgia through the air? What can Georgia do passing the football? Because obviously Michigan's defense, pretty damn good too, as the NFL draft will suggest when they have it in April. So, I mean, how do you see this thing playing out, Terry, just in terms of, schematics, X's and O's? How do you feel this one's going to go?
Obviously, Jim Harbaugh is going to try to run the football, but I think because he has got more faith in McNamara, the fan base has faith in this guy. I think Michigan's going to try a lot of play action. At least they should early in the game, because I trust McNamara to make the right throws, the safe throws, and to prove people wrong who said, well, you can't win against great teams or good teams with a guy as a game manager. Yes, you can in college football. It happens all the time. So I think we'll see a lot of play action from Michigan. Georgia would try to run the football, and, Georgia, that's what they do. And we'll probably have some success, but I don't think enough. So I get a sneaking suspicion that Michigan is going to win this game. We'll play Alabama, probably get mollywopped, and we're going to put you to the test.
That's not going to be putting me to the test. I already have the responses all set up for it, man. I just gave them to you guys.
All right, we'll see.
That's where I am.
That's
with
what you're saying today. What you going to say?
No, T-Foss, I already have it laid out.
What are you going to say in a
covered every
month?
scenario. I don't know. You guys, you people want blood? You want blood from me, T-Foss?
No. You know what happens? Yeah, you're nice and measured today, but the emotions of everything will get to you.
No, it won't,
and
T-Foss.
You will fall down the rabbit hole.
See, and then Matt Carey and I think have found some common ground, because he says in our YouTube chat thread, Michigan had a hell of a year. This has to be the new normal. Just keep reloading and being at the top. Isn't that what I said, T-Foss? It's got to be validated.
Right. But
so we're saying the same thing.
So if Michigan loses to Georgia, is it a disaster of a season? Is it a bad season? Is there a blemish? How do you view the season
for
Michigan if they lose to Georgia?
Exactly what I said. You won a Big Ten. You beat Ohio State. You got into the college football playoff. Checked a lot of boxes. Now, if we never hear from you again, then, you know what I'm saying, T-Foss? I just go back to it. How do Michigan fans view Michigan State since the playoff? How do they view them?
Well, they always the same. They're our little brothers. That's the way they look at Michigan State. And they also believe Michigan State is incapable of beating Michigan. That's that Michigan arrogance that shows its head every year. But Michigan State does beat Michigan on the football field. So, but they can't shut the Wolverines up. Even when Michigan State wins, it's a fluke. Trouble with the snap. This year, Michigan fans are blaming the refs. See, over the years, we've had the turf monster trip up Desmond Howard. We had Demetrius Brown throwing 7 interceptions. If he only threw 6, then Michigan would have won. So it's never that Michigan State just grabbed Michigan by the throat and beat them. So Michigan State can never win against Michigan, at least from the narrative from the fan base. That's never going to happen.
Right, but the fact remains the same. I mean, okay, I'll call my friends in the SEC that working at SEC schools and ask them, hey, what's the Southern college football fans' view of Michigan State since they went to the college football playoff?
They'll say, who?
They'll say, when did they go?
Right.
And they're like, oh, that's right, they played Alabama. But Alabama does that to everyone. You know, Alabama did that. Alabama did it to Ohio State, but the difference is Ohio State came back there and they won. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm looking. Like, Michigan can lose this game and everything's still cool.
Okay.
This year was cool.
We'll see.
They can.
I'll be waiting.
They can.
I'll be waiting. I can't wait, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, no, I know. That's just where I am with it. When we take a break, we'll come back. We got story time with T-Foss coming up in, 15 minutes. Not even.
Just tell me. I'm ready.
T-Foss's Central Michigan Chippewas are going to the Sun Bowl.
We should all go to the Sun Bowl.
We charter a jet, T-Foss?
Yes. How much does that cost?
I don't care. Let's go.
Go to the Sun Bowl.
Let's go.
We got to be there for the, not just the game, but for the week leading up. It's too late. We already missed the festivities.
Do you think your Connex at the Sun Bowl would give us some post-game festivities?
Maybe. But I just know that post-game
isn't quite
pretty much. Yeah, it's not as much fun. But we missed all the trip to Juarez. We missed all the other stuff, which would have been earlier in the week. In fact, Central missed all that, too, because they weren't even there.
That is true. They stayed in Arizona as well.
Right.
I do want to run something by you though, real quick. When we
go ahead,
when we discuss it though, the Sun Bowl thing. I do got to touch on the Detroit Lions. They're going out to Seattle. This is a big moment for us guys. This Lions-Seahawks game. I'll discuss. We got a lot to get to in the next segment. But look, guys, we're a simple bunch. We like football on Sundays. The TV remote in our hand. We like things That's the biggest thing for me. Uncomplicated. I want to go to the store and stuff. Be there. That's what I want. I want my wife to give me a grocery list and be specific about what she wants. Don't just put whipping cream on there. Come to find out there's whipped cream, heavy whipping cream, all that stuff. You're not going to get any of that at Lady Jane's. It's easy. All you got to do is walk in, sit down, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Your hair is cut. There aren't any tricks. Your wife's not trying to set you up or anything like that. Lady Jane's open from 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network coming down the stretch. Neil Rule, Uncle Terry Foster in the house as well. Storytime with T-Foss coming up in about 12 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Lock and load for that one. He says it's about an 8.5, which in our lives means it's about a 15.
Yeah, you're going to want to hear this one.
See, like he's even selling it. So Sawyer, he's even selling it.
Oh yeah, I think it was Steve Brown in the chat posed a very good question. So if this story is an 8.5 on the Terry scale, where does the Sun Bowl story rank out of 10?
Yeah, they want some context.
Because that was pretty legendary, the Sun Bowl story.
Sun Bowl would probably be a 9.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Sun Bowl was a little more salacious, but this one was pretty
salacious,
pretty good. We almost had a death in this one.
Oh.
And it's less than. Think about that, everybody. Think about that. Let me see. What do we have? Rob J. Look at Michigan's schedule next year. They're going to be undefeated going into the Ohio State game. And that is true. That's the other angle of it, T-Foss. That schedule for the next 2 years for Michigan is very juicy. very juicy. So, I mean, if it's now or never, man. If you're going to extend this run, the schedule lines up and then even the following year, too, when you have Ohio State back home.
So you're
it's a
saying
good lineup
that the Big Ten is crap, is what you're saying?
What do you mean? No, I'm not saying
You
that.
said
I'm saying the schedule is friendly.
Schedule is friendly. They're not going to lose a game. Means the Big Ten is crap.
Well, how do you think?
How can you go through a Big Ten, go through a conference schedule, and guarantee a team is going to win?
I don't know. Ask Rob J. It wasn't my comment.
I'm saying.
I feel like Isaiah right now. Talk about Larry Bird.
In other words, the Big Ten is crap.
I feel like Isaiah right now. Talk about Larry Bird, T-Foss.
Right.
I never made the comment. I sound like him too, don't I?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
No, but happy to have y'all along for the ride here today. I do want to touch on the Lions with Seattle. And, I know we have a whole bunch of Dan Campbell sound and stuff like that. But you know what, Sawyer? It doesn't matter because here's the only storyline for me. And I'll be on the Lions pregame show at O'Toole's in Royal Oak on Sunday. Here's the only thing for me. If you lose to Seattle, you guarantee no worse than the number 2 pick. Hard stop. That's all I'm focused on.
Fine. I don't know if I'll be focused on that. The Lions are in good shape. They're going to get a great player. They're going to get the number 1 or probably number 2 pick. I'm fine with that. But I understand you and the whole draft thing. Everybody's going to get what they want. The fans wanted a couple victories, and good for them, so they got to celebrate that. You're going to you may not get your number 1 pick, but you will get your number 2 pick, and maybe with the guy that you want the Lions.
Anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
And so everybody's going to get what they want.
Yeah, because Jacksonville's dumb if they don't take an offensive tag. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're not even going to take a defensive end. So you're going to be coming out this smelling like roses.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's really what it is for me. You guys want to break down the matchups of Lions-Seattle, you go right ahead. I just need Russ to cook one final time. And I know they're teetering out. I am concerned. As you know, Terry, I've been concerned all year long. Every step of the way, I've been concerned. I'm concerned about this because Seattle's on the brink of really falling apart. They are like Russ Wilson gone, leaving the organization, them just imploding it and retooling. That concerns me. Is that fair?
That's probably going to happen.
Is it fair that concerns me, though?
It is fair.
Okay.
You should be concerned.
I just need the T-Foss validator in my life sometimes, T-Foss. That's really all I'm looking for.
Sometimes you look at a situation and you see 2 + 2 = 4. And that's exactly what's happening in Seattle.
Okay. Okay, cool. Steve Brown says, I really hate Seattle, so that's going to be a tough sell. Maybe someone will win during the early games so we could beat Pete Carroll. No, Steve, I just want – you can only lose one game at a time. And so I need them to lose just to be alive. Just give me the false hope of that number 1 overall pick. But again, Terry brought up a great point, and he was the OG of this thought that Jacksonville – probably is going to go the offensive lineman route. They probably are.
Sure.
At least they should, judging by what their offense looks like. So I think I'm okay.
And if they do that, you're in essence getting the number 1 pick.
You are. Because that's the only thing the Lions don't need right now.
Right.
The offensive line is in very good shape. So everything should be good to go. More bowl news, T-Foss. Your Central Michigan Chippewas.
Yes.
Who were set to play in the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
Which was a ripoff, but yes, go ahead.
See, T-Foss, I don't think it was. I think just based on Barstool and how they were going to stream it, I'll tell you this. That game was not going to be available on linear television. Barstool Sports was going to stream it through their platforms. I'll tell you this, that
So in other words, nobody's going to watch it.
No. Central in the Arizona Bowl, T-Foss, would have got way more viewers than Minnesota, West Virginia got 2 nights ago. Way more.
I disagree with that. Now, and the payoff was $130,000. In fact, here's what Central did. They wrote us wanting money from us so that the Central Michigan football team and the cheerleaders could have a first-class experience in Arizona. Why are you sending a team to a bowl game where they're supposed to make money, but you're begging for money from your alumni? Something was shaky going on there.
You know the answer to that, T-Foss. Because
It was a ripoff. It was just say it. Why are you so nice? It was a ripoff.
T-Foss.
They're begging for money. I don't have any money.
It's a mathematical equation, T-Foss. There are costs associated with going to the bowl.
Because Central wasn't going to get paid. That's the deal.
Well, anyway, so Central now, because Boise State had COVID issues,
thank God,
will slide into the Sun Bowl, the Terry Foster Sun Bowl, making an appearance against Washington State. That game is on CBS. Network television tomorrow. The viewership certainly will be a lot higher. People are saying that, but I don't know, man.
Now you're contradicting yourself. You just said,
the viewership will be higher than it would have been in the Arizona Bowl. Yes,
you said that Central would get more viewers than
Minnesota, West Virginia.
West Virginia
did at 10:15 at night on ESPN. They would have got more views on Barstool Sports, but whatever, T-Foss. All that being said, Central's going to slide into that spot, replace the Miami Hurricanes, who had COVID issues as well. They'll be getting more money. Now, I saw everybody on social media talking about the fact that, they're going to get that turned into, $2.7 million. They're going to get half of the payout. And as I said yesterday on these very airwaves, and I believe somebody said, this feels very slimy, Tony Paul wrote a story in the Detroit News, and he said, Central Michigan and the MAC aren't going to receive that full share that Miami would have gotten, and the MAC commissioner would not specify the terms, just said that, quote, it's sizable. So, guys, I told you this was going to happen because it's the way it always happens, that those negotiations happen, and that's what it was. Like, if you read Tony's story, you can kind of piece it all together as it goes through.
It's still more.
They were negotiating. It is still more
than the $900 they would have got from the Arizona Bowl.
But T-Foss, here's the thing, and knowing this, I do television broadcast for a quote unquote basketball mid-major, like Central Michigan's a basketball mid-major. That's the way these things work, T-Foss, and that's why the little guy, the mid-major, is always going to get screwed. T-Foss, they always do, always.
But if you can promise them more than they would have gotten in another bowl, then Central will be like, we're good. Because Central wants to use that money so they can update their facilities and buy crap that they don't need. So this is big for them.
And have Hall of Fame inductions where they put Terry Foster in the CMU Hall of Fame.
No, my neighbor's going to be in the Athletic Hall of Fame.
Really? Who's your neighbor?
Molly Coldren, who is the all-time home run and RBI leader for softball.
Really? That is pretty cool. She's not in already?
No, because she's not eligible yet.
Oh, okay. So it's like first-year eligibility. I would think that would be a no-brainer.
She'll get in.
Yeah, that's certainly a no-brainer.
In fact, I'm going to write her speech.
Are you?
She doesn't know this, but yeah.
AC says, I'll watch the Sun Bowl just because of Uncle Terry. So maybe they should put you in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
You.
Which one?
There's a listener right there that says
Sun Bowl Hall of Fame.
But I would think that you would be a first ballot Sun Bowl Hall of Famer. But I think the Central Michigan folks should put you in their Athletic Hall of Fame just based on the fact that AC said he's going to watch the Sun Bowl just because of Uncle Terry Foster.
Okay, if I can get 1 million more ACs, maybe they'll put me in there.
Okay, that's fair. Well, we'll start the campaign. You should be in there. That's the point. Speaking of Hall of Fames, Uncle Terry has a Hall of Fame story. Don't forget, we got the Motorsports Minute coming up with Sawyer as well before the show ends. This is it, folks. Story time with Uncle T-Foss coming up next. Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, Joy.
It's Woodward Sports.
The moment is at hand, everybody. what you've been waiting for all day. YouTube chat thread, Dom Rivera. I'm a CMU alum. I'm appalled that T-Foss is not in the Hall of Fame. So there you have it. The people I have spoken. My name is Neil Rule. He's T-Foss, Terry Foster, Sam in the sound room, and, of course, Sawyer in the production room as well. Sawyer's been working out here today.
Oh, yeah. We've been working today.
He's done it, though. He's risen to the occasion. That's why I ride. That's why I mess with Sawyer. Dumb heavy, everybody. That's why I ride with this guy. But Matt Carrier said Gypsy Vodka may be needed for this one. You guys, put a log on the fire. Everybody gather around. It's story time with Uncle T-Foss.
Gather around, everybody. Once upon a time, I was a columnist at the Detroit News. And one of my assignments was to follow Michigan State football on the road. One year, we went to Notre Dame. And whenever you hung out with the beat writers from Michigan State, you always had one stop you had to make at some point during the weekend, and that was at the Tay-Tay Bar. Now, Notre Dame, I told you about Tampa, the Tay-Tay capital of the world. South Bend, Indiana is not. So we're in this Tay-Tay Bar, and it was seedy, man. The tables were all shaky and everything, and the women had the banana flip boobies, that kind of stuff. It was kind of nasty in there. Then these women would come to the table to borrow. Well, not borrow. They would beg for quarters so they could put the quarters in the jukebox so they had something to dance to. Well, one of the strippers was from the state of Michigan, and she was the marquee act. And I think her name was Chesty something, because she had size M boobies. I didn't say A, B, C, D, or E. They were M. They were huge. So we obviously got into a conversation about her boobies. And so Drew Sharp, who was part of it, said, "Can you make sounds with your boobs?" She said, "Yeah." So she slapped them together and made this loud noise. And so Drew said, "Can I put my face in between them?" She said, "Sure." So Drew puts his face in between her boobs. She holds him out like this, smacks Drew in the face with her boobs, and he was staggered. That's how strong these things were. But we also had a crisis too. He was stuck in the middle of her boobs when she slapped him. He couldn't breathe. So he started doing like this. He's like, "Oh my God." You just heard I said, "Dude, what's wrong?" He said, "I can't breathe." So I said, "Miss, can you kindly pull your breasts apart so my boy can breathe over here?" So she pulls him out, and Drew comes out. He's like black and blue and red, and his nose was all crinkled up. His ears were like messed up. All because my girl slapped his face with her boobies. But happy to report that Drew did recover, and he was able to cover the game the next day. But I thought he was going to die, man. I mean, he was like, oh. He couldn't even speak. Because what happens is when you put your face into a woman's chest and then she puts size M's around your head, it's like all the air is sucked out. You're like in a vacuum. And we almost lost Drew Sharp that day.
And that is story time with Uncle Terry Foster.
Do not, I repeat, do not go to the Tay-Tay bars in South Bend. They're awful. Lesson learned. And you can lose your life.
Let's go to the YouTube chat thread, shall we?
Okay.
Let's do that. Okay. MSU Detroit fan. A strip club near Notre Dame? What's going on in South Bend? Stephen Baker, banana flip, LOL. Detroit Dabber, LMAOOO. Honolulu Blue Sparty, this is gold. Matt Carrier, banana flip. I think banana flip is the early star.
That's the one, banana flip.
Of the
My
show.
girl did not have banana flips, by the way.
Rack, I can't even right now. Just a lot of laughing emojis. Chef Chris Smith, Tay slap. Neil is speechless. Ha ha ha.
Dude, you can't believe how loud it was when she smacked them together.
It was like a Ric Flair chop or something like
It
that.
was
huh?
no, it was like an auto crash. They were loud.
Rack says death by tatas. Robert says Sawyer, these have to be edited together and be its own YouTube channel. Every time, the man never misses, everybody.
You know what? It's always funny until somebody loses an eye. And Drew could have lost an eye that night.
Oh, man. Fire crackling. I'm adding more gypsy vodka to my coffee. That's how staggered you got, everyone. They're putting vodka in their coffee. Chef Chris Smith says, how about the banana flip bowl?
I'm all there. Hey, I'll head the committee.
Yeah, you will. Oh, boy. Where are we at right now? Where do you go from that one, T-Foss?
I don't know. Something respectable. Not religion, I would imagine.
No, you certainly can't go to religion. So, again, that was story time with Uncle T-Foss.
And what's a strip club doing near Notre Dame in the first place?
That is a great
Isn't
question.
that supposed to be sacred ground?
Well, yeah, because Lou Holtz has the most integrity as a college football coach as anybody in the history of college football. You know that.
I bet you Lou Holtz didn't know about this place.
Oh, no. I'm saying, though, you could tell by the way, all the campuses that he left. Every single time he left somewhere, they ended up on probation. So I'm sure he knows about integrity.
Oh, yeah.
So Notre Dame's built on integrity.
He's always one step ahead of the mob.
But that's just me being a hater, though, T-Foss. That's doesn't matter that it's right. I'm just being a hater.
Well, you would be a hater if Lou Holtz coached Michigan.
But he would never coach Michigan. So
right.
So there is that. Noah M. I clicked on the video to watch the show. Terry's story is the first thing that I hear.
Sorry about that.
So Noah's a listener for life now.
Okay. Hey, welcome.
Oh, man. So there it is. Matt Carey says Lou Holtz spent weekends there. Lou Holtz was probably like a VIP.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
I'm sure he was.
But they had to sneak him in and sneak him out so you wouldn't notice.
Okay, because I'm trying to set this thing up. Sawyer, by chance, are you ready for the Motorsports Minute, ma'am?
Oh, I'm always ready, yeah.
You're always ready to roll. I just want because for me, begrudgingly, I am a person of the people, though. When the people spoke for it, they said they wanted it. We're kind of, we're in bit-driven radio right now, I guess you would say, or digital broadcasting.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, 2 bits, 1 segment. That sounds like a T-Foss strip club name, but here we are, and we're going to do it right now. So again, here's the ground rules, everyone. Sawyer gets 1 minute for the Motorsports Minute because you guys said you wanted it. It could be anything he wants: NASCAR, F1, IndyCar, whatever it is. He'll have a clock that will start the second he starts speaking, and the precise nanosecond, in Sam's words, that clock runs out, the mic gets muted. So, Sawyer, you got to be on point. You got to deliver the goods.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mess this up, man.
Oh, yeah. It's a big time.
Don't mess this
up. And I don't want to put
stage.
pressure on you, but I used to be the auto beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. So I used to cover all this junk.
Oh, geez.
So he knows. So you got somebody in the know here.
Oh, yeah.
Big D Energy audience, you guys ready? This could be the shortest, literally the shortest bit in the history of digital sports talk or radio sports talk, whatever. We'll see. All the pressure's on Sawyer right now. Sawyer, you have the clock ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the clock is ready, and we will send it over to Sawyer for the Motorsports Minute. Sawyer, take it away.
All right. Well, as you know, the Formula One season just ended, and there's a lot of drama there at the end. Nicholas Latifi crashed out, bringing out the safety car, and then causing all the drama with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. So he has actually had to come out recently with a nice 2-part statement, as you can see right there on screen if you're watching on YouTube, just making this big, long-winded thing about how he's experienced so much abuse and just crazy comments from people ranging from he purposely threw the race and crashed on purpose to you're just ruining the sport, all this nonsense. So he's had to come out and make this long statement, just kind of in a way apologizing for something that's not even really his fault because he didn't wreck on purpose. But I don't know. It struck my chord. I thought somebody needs to talk about this because he races for a smaller team and he's just getting beat down for no reason, just like an honest mistake. And yeah, I don't know. It's cutthroat out there. Everybody knows like Formula One's so dramatic.
All right, and there it was. And Sawyer, the mic was cut off. Sam, excellent execution on your first effort. He was ready to hammer too. Did you see him over there? I know you're trying to do the bit, Sawyer, but Sam had that look in his eye. He was ready to hammer at any moment.
Ready to take
I'm
me
proud
out.
of Sam. I didn't think he could do it, but he did.
And he did.
Cut
And he took
cut
Sawyer
his ass
out
right off.
So you guys tell me what you thought. I know this was a big thing. You guys had a lot to say about it when it happened. I don't know. Robert says, Neil, it's lights out and away he goes. You're right. I guess I should have given it the proper...
Little Formula One reference there?
Yeah, I should have given it its proper due. But there it is. Okay, all right, Rob. Which is crazy because Latifi drives for Williams, who are a Mercedes team, which screwed Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. He's probably not getting another contract.
Dom Rivera says, okay, I could handle a minute.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing some notes. Honolulu Blue Sparty wanted some footage, so maybe I'll have to grab that next time. A little more visuals. Graphic was hard to read. Yep. That's on me. Okay. I didn't have a minute to read it all. I planned to read the statement, but I was like, that'd be a minute and a half in itself. So.
And you didn't want to be
judgment
hammered.
call. Yeah, judgment calls,
So there it was. Hey, it's all different when there's a clock, I've noticed.
Oh, yeah.
When there's a clock, man, it is. It's all different. Speaking of clock, I know Fish isn't here today, but guys, maybe you can provide the thunder because look, Guardian Alarm gets it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology, helps you feel safe 24/7 local monitoring. These guys aren't in another country or something like that where the computer screen goes off. Guardian Alarm, local monitoring. They also have convenient features that let you check in on your home, control the lights, control the temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, whatever. Even let you lock and unlock doors. Here's what you got to do, folks. Call 1-800.
Stay out!
That's 1-800.
Stay out!
Guardian Alarm's been trusted and tested for over 90 years at keeping families safe. Look, it's the last one of the year. All right, guys? Bring that heat. Call them. 1-800.
Stay out!
Get out of my house.
There it is.
If you come again, I'm going to shoot you.
Okay, there it is. Guardian Alarm can't help you with that, but hey, all your locally monitored security needs, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Final segment of the year here for Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, T. Foss taking the place of DMAC, Darren McCarty, and Joik Bell. Sawyer here in as he just dropped off his first edition of the Motorsports Minute, which is literally a minute and no more, as Sam in the sound booth made sure of. Sam, rock solid, low key. You're the MVP of the show today, Sam. Real talk.
Flips, I think I'm going to change my nickname. You
Banana
can't call
Flips?
me. No, you can't call me T Foss anymore. It has to be T Flip.
T Flips. Sounds like a better rap name too, T Foss. If you ever got into the rap world. Lions Detroit 35. Sawyer hammered that, just like them Tay-Tays. D. Smitty. Too much Formula One already going on in the streets of Detroit. Stephen Baker. How the heck you guys going to follow Tay-Tay stories with a minute of this? Hey, I you know, the people wanted it, not me. I'm just trying to put every obstacle in the way. And if Sawyer can overcome it, then he can overcome it. Mr. Thomas, I don't speak NASCAR. You know, people like T. Foss and Neil are only here for the crashes. I admit that. I like a good auto race crash.
I like the pit stops.
Yeah. Lewis M. has a question for you about your story. I still don't know why the ladies had to pay quarters for their own music to dance to. Had to make it hail instead of rain.
Yeah, that was not cool. That's how it was a low-class place. These guys didn't go to the high-end strip clubs. They went to the seedy ones. And it was just weird. These naked women coming around, can I have a quarter? Oh, no. They would say, can I have 8 quarters? So they just like, I'm just going to fill up the jukebox with my favorite songs, and it was weird.
Matt Carrier says, save the show and recover with the Motorsport Minute. Yeah, so there's that as well. And, you know, it's one of those things. F1 haters, stay out. So you're getting some love there, Sawyer. You did all right. Especially, I set you up to fail, and that was on purpose by me. That was a calculated move. Not because I don't like you, not because I want you to fail. If you can thrive in that environment, then you can thrive anywhere, Sawyer.
Oh, yeah. Diamonds are made under pressure, right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that the saying?
And you didn't have enough pressure here today on the show. So there was that. New Year's Eve coming up. I know everybody's going to be watching football and stuff like that. The football stuff aside, what's your favorite thing to do on New Year's Eve, T-Foss?
Nothing. I mean, I have a boring New Year's Eve. So I think the thing is just watching the ball drop. Because usually I'm at home, Honey Bun is next to me, she's snoring, so I just sometimes watch the ball drop. But last year, I didn't even see that. I woke up at midnight because I had dinner, laid down next to Honey Bun, and I was out. And the next thing I hear is gunshots. I was like, what the hell is going on? I said, oh, shoot, it's New Year's Eve.
And there it was. And it's funny, too, because certainly as you have kids, the New Year's Eve has a different meaning than it used to when you were, when you're in your 20s.
Were you a clubber when you were in your 20s?
Yeah, we would do the whole bar scene and party scene and stuff like that. Yeah, I was big on the bar scene back then.
My favorite New Year's Eve was in Grand Rapids. We had this party and everybody passed out, and I remember waking up and somebody. We passed out on the floor and somebody said, Happy New Year's, and they said a profanity. And I woke up and I was staring in the face of this woman with the most foul breath in the whole world. I'm like, oh my God, it felt like a furnace. I said, baby, get away from me. But that was my most fun.
Yeah, my big thing is cooking seafood, the scallops and shrimp and some steak and stuff like that. Do that out on the grill. What about you, Sawyer? What do you got popping?
Gonna be up north doing some skiing this weekend, going to Nubs Knob and Boyne Highlands, but normally just hanging out at home watching some football. Bun,
you can't ski at midnight.
Well, yeah, but then I'll be at home after skiing, watching football games, and then just hanging out.
Oh, so you're gonna ski, come home, and spend midnight at the house?
Yeah, and then wake up and go skiing again, and then come home.
Man,
there you go. How about what you got going on, Sam? What's popping for you? No, there is. I mean, and that's going to be a little bit different this year, I think, for everyone. But again, I'm disappointed because the ratings will be down. Again, that'll be the story that you hear, that the ratings are down. Not as bad as they were before because Michigan's involved.
Why do they have it New Year's Eve?
I'll never understand. And T-Foss, look, like this is what I do, right? This is my job. This is your job. It's what we do. We have to watch it. And I'll tell you guys this. I won't be able to sit and lock in. The kids are home. It's New Year's Eve. Baby girl's 6. She's all kinds of fired up for New Year's Eve because she gets to stay up late, even though she usually ends up crashing by about 11 o'clock or something like that. But this is her night. Like, this is the party night for her. She's really fired up about it.
And what it does, it creates friction between men and women because the younger people will be out having a good time, and the woman is going to want to dance and drink and have a good time. The guy's like, wait a minute, it's the fourth quarter. I got to watch this. And the women going to be like, what are you talking about? We're out here to have a good time. So I think having these games, New Year's Eve, is bad for relationships.
I agree. So it just seems like, too, the whole – and I don't know exactly when it flipped, but I used to be – again, like we were talking about earlier, I was a big New Year's Eve guy. I mean, get it in, T-Foss. And it just – when did it change? Because I've noticed this. Everybody kind of has the same thing where they don't really do a heck of a lot.
Part of it is you become arrogant when you get older. You say, oh, this going out, that's for amateurs. I'm above that. So you stop doing that. Then you have kids, and then you ask your woman, well, what do you want to do tonight? And what do women always say? I don't care. So you're like, well, forget it. We'll stay home then.
Yeah. Joey Two Times says downtown Grand Rapids is a party every night. Yes, certainly that is the case. Look, appreciate everybody tapping in all year long. You know, it's been a good run here for Big D Energy, and we're going to keep it popping coming into 2022 as well. Big thank you to everybody that's interacted with the show, however, social media, YouTube, radio, Instagram, Facebook, however you've done it, man. We're grateful that you have, and we'll be back popping. Now, T-Foss, you'll be part of what we're doing around here. I know that for sure. And Big D Energy will be back on. Appreciate you sliding through, man.
I have a good time every time I come here. You guys are good kids.
Absolutely. For T-Foss, Sawyer, and Sam, my name is Neil Rule. Thanks for watching Big D Energy. We'll see you next year, everybody, on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Hey.
That's not winning, Joy.